Good evening. I am filming the first portion of this again a second time, and I'm not going to film the whole thing because this is actually the third time filming the whole thing. I had my dryer on last round for the first part, so I'm just redoing it, and I'm going to use a different candle than I use in the other one. These are candles that I made over the holiday, soy candles, and one of the fun things about soy candles, or one of the things I like about them, is that you can use the wax. If it's a nice soy flake that you order, you melt it and then you pour it in and you get a little wick. And I like to buy recycled containers. It looks like I've got some wax on this one. But and then I clean them. I throw them in the washer, dishwasher, and then I recycle them. And this, I've actually reused this candle twice. I've filled it up. This is the second round. The one you see later in the video is just a simple glass container. And I'm going to play with this little candle for a moment, and then I'll light it. And then I'll play with my little porcelain egg. And then the video will jump to a different segment that I filmed a couple weeks ago. So, one of the things I learned about soy is you can, when it's melting, it melts at a certain temperature, and you can rub it on your hands. And I like to put different essential oils in them. And I was getting a little wild with some of my essential oils over the holiday because I made these as gifts, and found that if you put too much in, it's like finding the balance. If you put in too much, then it can make the flame burn a little wildly and could be a little dangerous, so you kind of have to find that balance. This is a translucent glass container, and as the wax melts down, it really has a nice texture on the glass that's beautiful. It makes a really pretty glow. And there's something called candle memory, which I also just learned about. And when you melt a candle, you know how sometimes you'll see it melt a little hollow all the way down? Well, if with your soy candles, if you let it melt all the way, the entire surface, then it will melt evenly all the way down, and the wax just, appears to disappear. But really, it's that it's melting and dissipating. I don't know what the word would be for it's really burning into the air, but it's a much safer candle than a paraffin, apparently. And you can rub it on your hands, and if you let the whole surface melt, which means you have to leave the candle lit for a couple of hours, then it will melt down evenly. So that's a fun little tip. You might hear my dishwasher or my washing machine in the background. I hope it's not too distracting. The dryer was on last time and it was too distracting, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, I'm going to light this candle. I probably should cut that wick down a little bit more. And I'll just keep that lit. This one has more of a citrus scent, one of my favorites. The other candle that you see later in the video, I believe it was peppermint. That one smells so good too. It smells like a candy cane. And you just melt the wax in a little metal container. I actually didn't have a little pitcher to melt it into, double boiler, so I opened up a can of vegetables or beans, I don't remember what it was, but something, saved the can, tin can, and then just used that for my melting pot. It worked out really well. Okay, so I'll move those out of the way. There's my candle. And then here's my porcelain egg. You know, it has a hole in the bottom, and Bombay, made in Bombay, I believe. But I don't think it's for a candle because it's so small. But it would be pretty lit up inside to show off all those little openings. I loved blue and white dishes even as a child, and my mother did too, so she bought a set of blue and white dishes. And when she died, they went to my dad and my stepmom, and when I moved out here to the Pacific Northwest and finally moved a little more permanently, I brought all my things out, and she was nice enough to let me have the blue and white dishes. Those were the things that I inherited. Every child inherited a little something different when my mother died. That's always a tricky time, going through things and knowing you're attached to some things and not attached to others, and yet knowing everybody else is too. So my dad did a nice thing where he kind of just, if there were things that more than one person wanted, then we kind of just, I think, put our names on paper, and you know, everybody got something. It's just very awkward, and yet there's really not a great way around it. So I have her blue and white dishes now. Maybe one day I'll play with those. I also have most of my old-fashioned teacups here, so one day I'll do a little ASMR video and play with my old-fashioned teacups. Okay, so I'm going to set down my egg, and then you will see them magically reappear in a few seconds. And I think I have nail polish on and a different tablecloth. I love these old-fashioned tablecloths. That's one of the things I love, and yet I love modern things too, so my house is quite eclectic, my decorating. Okay, I'm going to let you jump to the next segment. Oops. I have a gift that was given to me, and there are two gifts here from a dear friend, and she had, I don't know if she had both of them made, but she had the one that I will show you next made specially, and this one is just stunning to me. It has, I'll maybe hold it against my hand so you can see it. It looks to have some kind of a beautiful flower blown inside of it. Don't know that it's a rose, but it's a wonderful kind of reddish orange flower inside of the glass. So of course it's very mesmerizing to me. You just wonder how someone managed to do that. And I know nothing about glass blowing, but it's an awfully magical thing to watch. And I don't know if she saw these being made or not, but it's just beautiful. And it has this pretty little base on it that allows you to know right where the bottom is, and it sits on top of this little ring, this glass ring or glass base. It has a perfect little opening to balance the tiny little globe, flower globe. So I will put that right there. And next I'll show you the glass ball. It's just beautiful. It has white and blue, and I know this one she had blown especially, made especially, and I don't know if she had it made for me especially or just had it made, but I'm the lucky receiver of this incredible gift. And what's really fun about this globe, this beautiful hand-blown glass ball, is that it has a light inside of it that changes colors. So I'm going to set it on its little tiny mirrored base and move it a little bit where you can see it. I'm going to tap on it a little bit. Oops, oh, that wasn't too loud. can see it changing colors, right? And I've got this one on my mantle. I cleared away all of my Christmas decorations. For a while it was by that tree that changes color that I love. Color is such a powerful, I don't know, communicator, mood lifter, indicator. I learned this weekend, and I don't know if it's true, but a friend of mine said that color, the color amount, let's see, how would I say this? The amount of color that we see now in the world, that we're able to see with our human eye, is much more expanded than it was a few hundred years ago, that we did not see color in the same way we do now. I don't know how they determine that, but I think that's an interesting fact if it's true. So there you go. I have a subscriber, and I won't say her name because I don't know if she's okay with that, but sometimes she sends me beautiful collages, and she so carefully picks the colors and the content and puts them together in a way that you just feel a really strong sense of energy from the, or emotion, however you want to look at it, from the collage. And she has also sent some art, some personal artwork that she's done. And it's just really incredible the way she uses color and the way she puts it together in her pictures. So anyway, I appreciate that. A shout out to her. All right, I'm going to move that out of the way, and I'll move in my last light source. And I got this foot for Christmas from a friend. Let's see if I can get it over here without making too much noise. It is a Himalayan salt crystal. It's awfully big. Here we go. And in the shape of a pyramid, which I just love. Yeah, I think that will show up nicely. And it has a light inside that dims and gets brighter. I'll turn it up all the way, and then I'll turn it down. And Himalayan salt apparently releases, I think it's negative ions into the air, which are really healthy for people. I hope it's healthy for the planet. I don't know. And that happens as the salt warms the salt crystal. So you can see this is a beautiful salt crystal. And I keep it in my stairwell so that it's kind of between both my upstairs world and my downstairs world. And I just love it. There's something about it. Just got this for Christmas from a friend. It's got a little bit of salt on the base. But I just think this warm glow is so beautiful. And what was fun was there were a couple of gifts I got this year that were surprises of things that I would love to have but would never get for myself. And a Himalayan crystal lamp or lantern or whatever you want to call it, light, is just that thing. I would not purchase that for myself, but I would want one. I've always wanted one, so it was awfully nice to get it. And I don't know that I would have noticed that they had the pyramid shape, but I really quite like that, and it goes well with the items that I have decorating my stairwell. So this was a really sweet gift too. I had a nice Christmas. So my son came for Christmas, about 12 days, and now he's gone back. He's in grad school, so he's gone to Utah to be with the other part of his family and his friends before he goes back to grad school. And it was really great to have him here. I mean, we got on each other's nerves and had to take little breaks. And when we notice we're getting snitty with each other, then we give each other a half day each and say, okay, you get the car this morning and go do what you want, and then I get it this afternoon, I'll go do what I want. And then by the evening, we're usually ready to enjoy watching a movie or making dinner together, so that worked out well. But we definitely did need some downtime too. I don't know if other people experience that. I think because he was an only child and he was around me a huge portion of his childhood, there's a part of him that really wants to come home and connect, but there's also that part that needs to feel independent and free. So I see that play in when he comes home. And I totally get it, even though I'm sometimes bummed, because you want your kids to just love being around you all the time, but the reality is I need the breaks myself. I need a break too, so it was a good holiday. I hope that you enjoyed a holiday of some kind, or some nice winter energy and enjoyment. Okay, that's it for tonight. I'm going to see if I can get another video made for another night here while I've got some time. And glad to see you. Have a happy, wonderful, bright, warm, cozy, cheery New Year. Good night.